So obviously coming off a heartbreaking loss, what's kind of the team mentality kind of collectively right now?
Just trying to get fix those little things that we messed up on, and just come back to work this week so we can bounce back.
Yeah, obviously the big passing plays were really something that didn't affect last year's defense, and 3 of them on Saturday. When you guys look back at the film, what are some of the things that you've identified as a secondary to kind of correct those things?
I say just like communication. That was the main thing. Just communicating, people being on the same page. I feel like we kind of hurt ourselves more than them just making plays. So I feel like we just got to communicate so we won't beat ourselves.
How would you kind of describe that atmosphere amongst kind of the other road places you played so far in your career?
That was probably one of the loudest places I didn't play at. That was probably one of the most loudest places I didn't play at. So it was definitely electrifying, and they fans definitely was made it. I feel like kind of made an impact a little bit. So yeah.
Through 2 games, outside of those kind of 3 big plays on Saturday, the defense played pretty well. What are some of the learning about this year's version of the Sun Devil defense? What are some of the things that you kind of learning about the character of this year?
I think it just shows that once we are if we're all on the same page, everybody communicating and just focus on their job, it shows that the defense that we can beat. I feel like the potential is there. We just gotta get that on a consistent basis, every snap, every drive. So once we get to that, which we're working on this week, I feel like we're gonna be very elite.
Obviously after the loss and dropped down the rankings a little bit, do you feel that there's maybe another chip on the shoulder now? Kind of maybe. Obviously that was such a factor of the success of last year's team. Do you think that's maybe come back a little bit?
Yes, sir. I feel like that will just not being in the rankings, the guys gonna be. I feel like I can't speak for myself, but I feel like people gonna get that hunger back that maybe they didn't have, but if they didn't have it already, but I feel like it's definitely a good thing for us. So we're gonna come back hungry.
Back home in front of the home fans, how good is it going to be? No more cowbells, but some cheering Sun Devils for you.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Just getting back home, trying to get things back on the right path. Everybody just gonna come, go out, play our brand of football, and we're gonna get the job done.
What are some things that really jump out to you about this Bobcat offense that's had some success over the first 2 weeks?
I say they're very explosive. Like I say, I know a couple guys on the team, being a Texas guy, but I say they're very explosive.
Yeah, what makes them so explosive in terms of what they like to do on the ground and then to do the pass?
They got a fast running back. They got receivers that can run. They got a quarterback that can throw it. So I feel like we just got to stay on top of those guys and challenge those guys.